Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host Paul James, and this week I'm joined by Damo, Camilleri and Jay Parnas.
Please.
How you doing?
We are here to talk about the future I'm not even answering your question. The future of the Star Wars video games, kind of big picture sort of stuff. This is inspired by the fact that Battlefront II sucks. Alright,
now let's
the
rephrase
campaign's
that.
okay.
Game's
and the
cool.
microtransactions.
Is it?
Transactions are dumb.
I've heard that the gameplay is
Yeah,
I enjoyed it.
There's some issues with the campaign. There's
You
my
played
reviews on
the
Play
second
2, go check it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the co-op-y mission things.
Yeah, right.
Dark side was so much better than the light side.
Was that in the story or was that in the... Sorry, I'm completely derailing.
Well,
I'm actually just curious because I've only heard a few first-person accounts.
Yeah, no.
Is it the multiplayer as well?
Yeah, that's what I was playing, the multiplayer, like
Yeah,
co-op-y stuff.
Sure.
Like you've just
Multiplayer's
it's
pretty
kind of
solid.
like it's kind of like
Yeah,
horde
like the
mode in a
microtransactions
sense. Like you've
suck,
got to kill
that's
X amount of dudes. Time limit most of the times.
The campaign's okay, and the multiplayer's good if it weren't for the progression
Sure.
by microtransactions.
There's that,
So,
and then there's
so
also...
the big issue that Battlefront 2 is facing, the Visceral Games closure,
It's dead.
that they were working on a new Star Wars game, that's gone. And then the more recent, I guess, good news that well, I don't know, depends. Every EA studio tends to get closed at some point. But the good news for now that Respawn has been brought into the EA fold, and they were working on are working on a Star Wars game. Where's the Star Wars game kind of thing? And this is also off the back of, a few years back, the 1313 situation. The original Force Unleashed being alright, and then the second one being an absolute piece of balls.
And also there's the Lego Star Wars games. That
Yeah, and they're always solid for
always,
what they are.
Yeah.
But where is the Star Wars video game series kind of at?
Well,
An impasse.
put it this way: imagine a giant mouse who just taken over the world,
Alright, I'm
and
with
you
you.
kept trying to touch its butthole and go, ha ha ha, whatever, bitch. Eventually, it's gonna bite you. It's gonna smack you across the fucking face and be like, "Fuck right off," ain't it? EA's got to stop because that's it. Game over, man. Like, this is bullshit. They've had it for long enough, and they've fucked it in the ass way too many times.
Are you aware of what happened, like why the microtransactions...
Right, so in that metaphor, EA are the arsehole touchers.
Yeah.
Alright, that's apt.
The mouse is Star Wars.
Mouse is Disney.
Disney.
We're talking about Disney. Disney
Are
has
you
the Star
aware
Wars.
that basically the reason why the microtransactions disappeared is because Disney got on the phone and said, sort
Oi.
this out. Like,
Yeah.
we're not standing for
Yes.
this. This is our baby. We're a month away from releasing the biggest film of the year.
Yeah.
Fix it. Which I think is pretty impressive.
Oh, look, they've already.
Like, EA is probably the biggest of the big when it comes to the gaming space.
They've also been
and
like
they were
rated the
just-
shittest company.
As soon as Disney...
Oh, dude, don't fuck with Disney.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
And they keep doing it though. Just because they've only paused the fucking transactions. They ain't gonna get rid of it. They just paused
Yeah, they're
it.
going to revise it and bring it back, but...
Yeah, revise it, bring it back, and it's going to be the exact same thing again.
Probably.
Oh, look, if they're smart and they do it... Like, microtransactions are fine if they're well executed, but whether EA can do that...
Are they?
yeah, they're fine.
Microtransactions
But-
are fine,
But then
when it's not related
a
to
free-to-play
progression.
game as well. Like, not when
I
it's
don't-
something you've paid a premium for.
Yeah, I don't think
And then-
microtransactions are good in a full-priced video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah, sorry, I was heading down that whole path, but...
It's though I play a lot of Overwatch, as you know, and I'm totally fine with that model because that model is
It's cosmetic anyway, isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
But not to mention you fucking like loot boxes drop like
Left, right and centre.
Yeah, so you level up fairly frequently. Like you'll get between 2 and 5k XP per match, and it's about what is it, like 20k to level up in that game. So you need to play like
Just a few matches.
5 to 6, 7, 8 games, but that's it. And you get a loot box every time you level up, and every week there's an arcade mode where you'll get for every 3 wins in arcade mode for that week you get a free loot box as well.
That's right.
And those games also give you that same experience as before, so it's like there are good chances where you have 2 or 3 things drop at the same time. So they stack up very quickly, and it's only cosmetic. Has no gameplay ramifications whatsoever.
Cosmetics are fine.
Yeah.
Progression? No.
No.
And they specifically build the cosmetics in that game so that the character profile, like the general shape of all the characters, is preserved. So because there's some characters that can like see shit through walls, but just like a silhouette, and you want those silhouettes to look generally the same. So they do a really good job with that. So there's absolutely no game ramifications whatsoever. It is literally, yo, look at the sweet dance that I can now do, like, or look at this skin that I've got. You know what I mean? That's the right way to do it. And
Yeah, you can't believe people like this.
and it's like 10 loot boxes for $10.
Yeah.
So they're only worth about $1 a piece, or maybe 11 for $10 or something like that. Like it's like, and you get 4 things pop out of every chest.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah,
Like
it's about just getting the balance right when you use that model.
And every update, every new character that they've had, like the game's been going for a year and a half now, nearly 2 years. They've launched 4 or 5 new characters and 4 or 5 new game maps, regular game modes, regular events where they add new skins and all sorts of shit. All of that's free of charge.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at that, that's totally fine model. Same with
I mean,
even
EA kind of
Destiny.
got up on their high horse early on and said, "Hey, you're not going like." Because the first one kind of got its criticism because they didn't give you much in the base multiplayer game,
Yeah, they gave you
and then
everything.
there was the season pass that was fairly expensive, and that's where all the stuff. And it caused that divide between who has and who has not.
And COD's been
that
doing
sort
it
of
with
stuff,
map
and
packs for years.
Yeah, so they were pretty proud when they came out earlier on this year and said, "We're not doing the season pass. Everything DLC wise you get is free." And of course, there had to be a catch.
Yeah. But I mean, that's the
That
thing.
they fumbled.
Destiny, the first Destiny, all of its content after a certain point went free because they then started putting in these like cosmetics and skins and all that sort of stuff for pay. So basically, they offset that cost. Instead of being like, we're going to give you another paid expansion, they went that route. And I think those are the routes where it's perfectly acceptable. People who want to look a certain way or dress a certain way or skin their guns or skin their cool pants that they got drop or whatever the case may be. If you want to pay for that, fine. And if that supports the game, more than fine. Having gameplay stuff locked, no, get the fuck out.
Well, yeah, not locked, but yeah, just the
It is
gauge
locked.
progression without
locked.
paying is no. You just have to put in stupid amount of hours. So it's not.
So, but it's
4,100 hours or something.
But it's
all that
locked
was way
off.
overblown,
Like it is locked off from players at
like
launch.
there's a guy who's done the whole thing in 40 hours. So
We unlocked everything.
yeah, without a single microtransaction because it's obviously off at the moment.
Yeah, but they scaled that.
Yeah, but everything was proportional. Like it was like the publications that kind of jumped on that and said, "Oh yeah, they've reduced it by 75%." No, they dropped the thresholds, everything by 70%. So it's all the same. Like the amount you get per match was the same. It was about a PR spin. Like you required 20,000. Hey, it's only 5,000, but the amount you only get per match is 3/4, like 3/4 less as well. So people kind of got tricked by that, and then they pulled the plug completely. So. Anyway, Battlefront 2, it's kind of marred with its problems. Can they save that at the moment?
You know,
Give the
I hope
game
they don't.
to someone else, please.
Well, the thing is, EA owns the license.
I don't care what they.
It was a 10.
You're gonna fight. Disney could fight
Disney
them
could
and win.
pull the plug. Oh yeah, for sure. No, they can do it. They'd have to pay. EA
I'm
out.
sure there's a performance threshold in that.
You'd imagine so. Yeah.
So, if this game does not perform, like they were expecting, what was it, like 18 million sales by March?
Aren't they
Yeah.
like 70% under their?
Probably.
Oh, no, that was,
In
I
the
think it was
UK,
Justice
in
League.
the UK box copies was about 70% less than
What they'd planned.
than the original one.
Oh, than the original one, yeah, right.
Now, part of that I attribute to the fact that more people are going digital, so fine.
Sure.
But not a 70% sort of gap.
No.
No.
You'd maybe expect 30.
I hope they.
Like in the last 2 years, maybe 3 in every 10 people on top of what they were going digital. That's not out of the realms of possibility, but beyond that, yeah, it's getting a bit stupid.
I hope they can't salvage this game, specifically because EA is a big enough company.
Oh, they can eat the cost. That's no problem.
But they're a big enough company that they can eat the cost, but they really need a hard lesson.
Yeah, I think they've
it's
already
not,
got it.
It's not like
regardless.
they can close any more studios. Let's be real.
Yeah, they don't have much left.
It'd be like going to the movies, and then like you put on like these goggles, and then like it'll come up on the screen, and you'll see like a silhouette of fucking Luke Skywalker, and it's like, hey, you can pay an extra $2 to see him. Like,
No, I don't disagree with
like
you.
no, I know you're not disagreeing. I'm just saying that this is the point of ridiculousness.
No,
It's
it'd be
bad.
more like if like everyone was watching in a VR headset and you had to pay for half of the scenes of the movie.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you get the rawest of raw storylines. But then it's like, yo, but did you get to see this scene? No. How'd you get it? I had to pay for it.
Yeah. It's just,
To your point about them salvaging it, yeah, I want them to salvage it because the studios themselves weren't responsible. This is EA executives at the top, and I don't wish that on developers or anyone that was involved in that project.
But you know what?
In actually creating that project.
To be fair,
because they put it like there's people that put a ton of time and effort into creating this narrative, for example, that have slaved over it for years, and sure, it was only so in the end. There was just a few. In my opinion, some of the story beats they went for where it wasn't an EA thing; it was someone from Disney going, "You got Luke Skywalker in there? No, this is a story about get Luke Skywalker in there." Like that was one of my big concerns with the campaign, having played it.
Look, I understand.
So I think that like there's some shared response. Like Disney
wish-
needs to cop a little bit for what happened in that space.
I wish no ill on any of the developers, but let's be real. In the current games industry model, you could probably do just as fine at a smaller studio that's not locked to something like EA and make something really cool. And like if they do shut down another studio, they could probably. I mean, look at Respawn. Look at Respawn is the remnants of Infinity Ward.
Yeah,
and look at them. Look where they are. Like I feel like.
Well, Infinity Ward still exists. Keep in mind.
They do, but I mean,
though it was only,
name,
I don't know any. There's no profile people there anymore.
But not just that. Like if you compare, like, which was the last Infinity Ward? COD, was that last year's one?
Infinite Warfare, yeah, last year's one.
Compare that to, say, Titanfall 2?
Yeah. Oh, Titanfall's way better.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, but that's like, the point is that if EA was to be like, well, I guess we need to shut down another studio, well, I'm sure that all of those fine and talented developers will be also totally fine because they are fine and talented developers.
Yeah.
EA needs they need more than a slap on the wrist. They need to.
I don't think anyone's going like,
I
what
think
a poorly developed
got
game.
their whack. Like,
I don't
think they've gotten the message.
Do you think they have?
Yeah.
I don't think
to the point where they've used the words "we got the message" like in their.
Of course, welcome to PR.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
Wasn't that a massive, like, just a huge PR thing?
Yeah, I know that was a PR.
And let me just call up a call center. Yes, I understand where you're coming from, sir.
No. You missed the point there. Like when you talk about 70% lost sales. All they care about is the mighty dollar or whatever currency they work in different countries. Of course, they've got the message. People aren't buying it.
They're working Bitcoin, dude.
But they got
whatever. Yeah, right. Bitcoin will do.
Yeah, right. But at the same time, they're still shutting down the studios who are making new stuff.
Yeah, but Visceral and Jason Schreier, Kotaku did a big thing afterwards. And I mean, the thing to keep in mind, like he certainly still ultimately put sizable portion of the blame on EA, but he also said, look, Visceral is set up in San Francisco, which is like the most expensive place in the world at the moment. To run a business out of. So he said he wasn't totally surprised either. Whereas when
don't forget there was a Visceral studio in Melbourne.
When EA created a new studio like Motive and all them, like that's up in Vancouver, like one of the cheapest places in the world to develop games, and they managed to leverage Jade Raymond to come out, the former head of Assassin's Creed and all that sort of stuff. They're making some good decisions in that space too, in terms of where they're actually setting up, and I just think, and I know that Respawn's not mixed. I don't recall the city, but I know it wasn't a high cost of living sort of place either. So they're making some wise decisions in that sort of place.
But that's like what I'm talking about is that EA needs to.
And there's also a lot of reports that
EA
this game was not tracking well.
No, but and look, a lot of their games have actually not fared amazing. Like Hardline was not the best received. It was, sevens, that sort of range. Dead Space 3 was, received less popular. And even though Dead Space 2 was a critical success, it was commercially a failure for them because they put $47 million and an equivalent amount into marketing into that game. Like, I get it, yes, but my point is that I think them as and then this is sort of, we're very much getting off track. This is like what EA needs to do to fix EA, not what Star Wars needs to do to fix Star Wars.
By fixing EA, they in turn fix what they're doing with Star Wars.
I think that they need to do,
time that they've got the license.
They need to do something new and fun, or something that's very like old and make it new again. Not the same shit that they have been doing for years. I mean, let's be honest. Battlefront is just
Battlefield.
Yeah, yes, I get it's a spiritual to the old Battlefront games that were made, but
in a number of ways it's not.
No, absolutely not. It doesn't have any of the objective stuff or the planet stuff or any of the things that made those fights interesting. It's just it's a fucking Battlefield clone, and that's not fun. What do you think?
Go on.
No, that just upsets me. That's like, 'cause I haven't actually played the campaign, so
The campaign's okay. There's
I know it's okay, but it's like I'm not gonna go.
There's some really good redeeming. I'll lend you mine. There's some really good redeeming parts of the campaign, but in my mind, the weakest parts are.
Fuck them.
The weakest parts are when it's clear that Disney gave them a tap on the shoulder and said, we need to see these key characters in here.
Do you think Disney did that?
Yeah, I mean that's been criticisms
or has
directed
it been...
at Disney before EA had the license, and about like other Clone Wars and those sort of things. Like, no, we need to see this. All right, and they kind of rearrange their plans accordingly.
Yeah, but they've done some pretty cool things.
That's another thing that Schreier had come out and said.
I would believe that higher executives at EA would have pushed for that stuff too, though.
Well, I'm sure they weren't.
Regardless of whether there was a Disney push.
Yeah, there might have been, but it sounds like they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, Mr. Goodness.
It sounds like they weren't going to do it until Disney did, and that they just had their creative license for a long time. Like, at the end of the day, for all its flaws, the first Front
was commercially successful.
It was really successful. It sold a lot of units. It was very well played.
My honest belief is that a lot of that was in good faith, because there was a lot of fans of it.
Not realising that they were going to have to pay
games
so much also down the track.
But also,
to get everything else.
I don't think that it was widely known how little was going to be in that game when it was.
They hit it
what I mean is that,
and it came out in time for the Force Awakens. It was Star Wars hype.
Deceptive. Yeah. It was deceptive how empty that game was.
Yeah.
Whereas the previous ones had way more interesting modes and gameplay stuff to it. This was very dumbed down.
All right, so let's kind of, because the whole
let's wipe the slate clean. The whole Battlefront 2
thing's a little bit
because
messy.
We need to.
And we won't even get to the license bit yet, though I want to touch on that.
Did you want to touch on
give me 13.
The Old Republic?
Yeah, I want 13. Old Republic still just kind of chugs along.
Just does its thing.
And same with Galaxy of Heroes, the one that's on mobile platforms or whatever it is.
Fuck if I know, dude.
They'll still mention that every now and then. They both are doing fine. BioWare's happy with the numbers they're getting for Old Republic. They're still putting out kind of incremental little updates. Galaxy of Heroes sounds like it's exactly the same. The single player stuff. So we've only now got one that's publicly known to be in development. That's the Respawn game that we don't even have a name for yet. So whatever. What do we want from that game? What do we want that game to be? Given that we know Respawn are typically first-person shooters. Typically.
I would like to be able to push...
But it sounds like it's not. I mean, they're showing lightsaber battles when they showed their little sizzle thing last year or whatever it was. So I don't know that you're going to get first-person unless... Otherwise, you just got to connect Star Wars again.
I would like to have a little cooldown timer where I can then push a button on my character's wrist and have an AT-ST drop from the sky and I can climb into it, or I can let it roam on its own.
So are you genuinely worried that it could be just a Titanfall?
No, I'm not worried. I'm 100% taking the piss.
Good.
I think Titanfall is
Titanfall's great, but
single player. What you said
there kind of makes me think, he just thinks it's going to be Titanfall Star Wars skin. To your point about Battlefield.
No, but I think if they use some of their Titanfall tech, then they could definitely do some really cool, AT-ST stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think AT-AT would be great because those things are fucking too big.
Yeah.
So damn big.
You have the Last Guardian problem where the thing doesn't work because it's too big for the environment.
Yeah. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
The one thing
I think it's meant to be third person, so to your point a moment ago, I want it to be 13-13.
Yes,
style.
But the one thing that Star Wars does best, and it's been phenomenal over the years, and I mean Rogue One just proved it again, is planet exploration of Star Wars has always been great. I mean, apart from the fact that every planet has one biome, whatever. It's a weird galaxy that's far, far away.
Also a long time ago.
Also in the Milky Way somehow, so that makes no sense.
Oh yeah, a long time ago.
Coruscant is Earth, that's cool. Coruscant
is God.
Anyway, spoilers.
but like, I just want to see.
Too soon. Too soon.
It's only been a few million years.
What?
God, all the stuff that happened across. I remember it's a long time ago.
Nothing happened to
No,
Croissant.
it's a long time ago relative.
Shut up. Continue.
So no, like I don't know, like even if we did get out 1313, you know, Star Wars does that amazing thing of exploring a new place or making a new place, though we probably see it on Earth.
So what
it
you want
feels
is
different.
No Man's Star Wars.
No,
I watched a guy,
I love
watched a guy from work play for 3 hours farming mushrooms. No, I don't want a No Man's Sky.
I just mean exploring planets, dude. Look, relax.
yeah, like I don't know. There's heaps of cool places, and I mean, and they've done so many different worlds in the games. Like you've gone to so many places, and there's just always these cool looking creatures, and there's cool different units. And you know, the Empire. There's all these things that you know. The expanded universe, regardless of what's canon and what's legends now, doesn't faze me because Disney. I knew they were going to do it. I knew they were going to wipe it clean and then reinstate everything that people loved. Like
Just
Thorn.
pick and choose
The
what
Thorn
they
trilogy's coming back. It's like everyone's like, "Oh, that's bullshit." Like they scrapped it. It's like, yeah, but then you complained and they were listening. So yes, I'm more than happy to see the coolness of exploration. Pretty much, like you know, I don't care if it's like mission jumping, like you know, kind of like.
Do you think our best chance of getting that then is in the remnants of this old Visceral project? Because remember that game's not dead now; it's being reworked into more or less.
Did that trailer look like it was
more or less a Destiny sort of style experience?
Yes,
from what the way that Patrick Sutherland.
Let me play a smuggler. Crying out loud, the smuggler.
Well, that
was
still
the
seems
coolest.
to be what the case is. It just seems like it's being reworked rather than this Uncharted style linear thing that Amy Hennig was working on and that she's known for Uncharted.
I wouldn't mind it be like.
It sounds like it's more your Destiny division sort of.
I don't want to do the Kessler run. I don't need to see that till next year. That's fine.
I would like to see a
2018.
a bounty hunter type.
Yeah,
Series.
the 1313.
Yeah, but not quite that though. Like I would like it to be that you're just like you're hunting down people that are like related to like popular characters.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like when I say a bounty hunter, I mean like a straight up like ice
Aftermath.
cold.
Aftermath has during the time after Return of the Jedi to Force Awakens, the New Galactic Empire. The New Galactic Empire was like not Galactic Empire. What are they called? I don't know what they're called.
The
now.
New Order.
No, New Order. Whoever the rebels ended up calling themselves, the Galactic Alliance, or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, they were using bounty hunters to hunt down bounty hunters, and it was like really cool. And then like
That's interesting.
there's this really sweet fight between two of them, and like you know one of them was like you know like petrified because he thought he saw Boba, and he's like whoo, and they both like freeze, and they're like oh it was just like you know a rag and lightning storm or whatever. You know he's of legend, and they're all hunting each other down. He's like yeah, and soon will be the day that when we're done finished hunting each other, they will hunt us. And it's like, man, I want to read everything about like that was just like it was like a chapter,
Yeah.
and like I want to read everything about that. Like the bounty hunters hunting the bounty hunters till eventually they get hunt
stuff's cool.
themselves. It's
'Cause
just awesome.
They always seem to have super cool kit, like
Yeah.
really interesting stuff. I mean,
but they go to those places too that like we just never get to see.
Absolutely, and they've also got some level of like, I guess, lore that kind of anyone can pick up a lightsaber and use it somewhat, like from the last movie how. Finn was just like, I guess this works like a sword, so I'll stab people. Like, he's not super proficient with it, but I mean, he gets the general concept of pointy light end.
They were the
put the buzzy end into the bad person. Like,
they were the Jedi hunters. They knew how to handle a lightsaber.
Yeah, but even still, he didn't really. He kind of got his shit pushed in. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is that I think that you could definitely have a story where
by
maybe
now
it's
we're about to see episode 8, so whatever.
Well, like
about the time of this series.
Yeah, but
God, like
anyway, my point is,
from today.
I think like bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe are kind of the jack of all trades.
Yes.
So I feel like you could really from a gameplay perspective, you could have a lot of options there. But then, like the more that I think about this, the more that I'm like, actually, I'd rather just bolt that onto an Anthem robot and just play that instead. So fuck it, whatever. I'm out. I'm out again.
Fair.
Give me a laser sword on my Anthem robot, and also just give me Anthem to play, and fuck it. Because I can fly. Who needs a Boba Fett jetpack when I have a mech?
Yeah, exactly. They can kind of do anything and everything, and I can fit it however I want.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yep.
Anything to add there, Damo?
About what?
Good.
Sorry, I'm
About
add on top of that.
about what the
about
respawn.
Anthem or about...
Because we could talk about
We can
it.
talk about no, we won't talk.
No, yeah, no, look, I'll just sum it all up. Give me planet exploration. Give me sweet missions.
It's clear there's going to be lightsabers involved. Basically.
That's fine. That's cool.
The use of them.
You know,
that
Han Solo
point-
uses a lightsaber to open up a tauntaun, so I don't really care. Anyone can really actually use them. Not everyone can build them. But yeah, give me exploration. Give me the cool characters that's always been in Star Wars games. The really the cool smuggler, the badass.
You're thinking completely new characters though, kind of like what Battlefront 2 was going for with the campaign, like just a new cast.
That's fine.
Probably more along the lines
Don't
of what
make them. But give me
Knights of
some.
the Old Republic.
Yeah, okay.
Give me some guys
I'd
I
say something in
know.
that setting.
Throw in Wedge. Where's Wedge? Well, Uncle Ben's dead.
Uncle Ben's from Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, wait, who's it? Owen, Uncle Owen. Uncle Owen's dead.
I don't think Ben Kenobi was his uncle.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway, Dagobah system. But yeah, no, like give me a couple of key characters that I know of, but I don't know, and then we get to explore them as well. Like I read the Aftermath books, the 3 trilogy. Read that? That's amazing. You get to know and love a lot of extra things about the Star Wars universe.
Or you might have been thinking of Instant Rice. Uncle Ben's Instant Rice. That might be the...
Why, Spooder Man?
Alright.
Sorry.
For me, I guess the final point that I reckon we need to discuss a little bit is the actual license itself, where it goes, how it's used, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, there was one question I actually wanted to pose
go
as
on.
well.
Do that first.
Oh, okay. If not thinking about whatever the respawn thing is, like, what Star Wars game just out of anything, like just pull something out of the head.
I want them to try and develop a game like a better version of what they did with the Force Unleashed games. They were good fun.
Okay.
Well, the first one was good fun.
Yeah,
New characters.
Let's say you get to develop
there was loose threads that did connect to the overall narrative, but it was his own story, linked in, and then the second one was hot trash.
And then they made an entire death planet after him. That's cool.
True.
We have Starkiller.
Starkiller. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah,
also
good fun. So that's kind of what I
original name.
I want. Like I love it.
Does that technically count as extended universe and therefore got killed anyway?
Yeah.
Probably.
Sorry, man.
Like I like having the lightsaber in hand. I'm a big fan of games that involve kind of swords and those sort of things, whether they're lighty zap swords or
zap swords.
or
You
whether,
mean laser katana, like
Get that on a t-shirt,
There you
people.
go. Here's an
Fight there
overall
from
hero
Shark
spin-off.
Robot. Laser
that's a-
zap swords.
that's a beam katana, laser sword.
Laser zap swords.
yeah, whether it's laser zap swords or of the metal variety.
Oh yeah, metal. Yeah, yeah. Why don't they have lightsabers with spikes and
Cross
shit
with
on it?
brutal legend.
I'm in.
Your guitar is what you
Fucking yeah. Let me be a TIE fighter pilot that can strum an electric guitar and call in lightning.
I know. Maybe
Force lightning from an electric guitar.
So
make it happen.
So give me lightsabers, that's fine. But then give me that third person
and a
perspective.
cantina band hero.
But yeah, then if they want to go
I'm in.
kind of
I'm
Destiny
all in.
style,
Chips all in.
shared world, fine. If they want to do, they can kind of do whatever with, as far as I'm concerned, if they're in that kind of perspective and that gameplay style.
So basically, you kind of want like a
third person action.
Yeah. Okay.
That's all I need.
Oh, as
So
long as
a-
Abdul Akbar is around there somewhere too.
If it's cover based, either
Even if
Uncharted
it's
or
just
Last of Us and Gears,
Fucking
or
Uncharted.
or if it is kind of what do I call them? Zappy,
Zappy laser
at least-
swords.
zappy laser swords.
At least
Go there.
reference.
Someone please print that on a t-shirt. I'll buy
what
it.
you
Oh, I'm not, sorry, I'm not saying. No,
You want Star Wars? Let's be real. You want Star Wars God of War?
No. Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, not far off the mark.
Like, let's be real.
You're not that far off.
I don't think the Uncharted formula of hey, watch this
No,
cutscene.
but like, so what I'm getting at is to your point. Maybe if it's a bounty hunter, then that's the sort of like I like the third person cover, maybe based shooting.
Yeah, but I feel like for a Star Wars video game, like if you just want to watch cutscenes, then go watch the Star Wars movies. Like,
Well, I'm sorry. When I say Uncharted, I don't mean like I'm talking about the way it plays. I'm not talking about the fact that it's scene, cutscene, back to small segment gameplay, cutscene.
oh, okay.
But like,
When I think of Uncharted, I think of like just set pieces after talking after
give me
set
that.
pieces.
I'm done. But it doesn't matter. They've cancelled that. So
Uncharted?
no.
Yeah, true. I guess
Yeah.
Amy Hennig was.
So the
Right,
license.
The license.
I didn't actually get to say the game that I
Send it to
Go,
Naughty
go
Dog.
on, quick.
Sorry, it's because because it's completely separate from what you guys have been talking. One of two things. Either I'd be happy with.
A card game.
Shut up.
No, I would like a sequel to Star Wars Pod Racer. Firstly, that would be sick. That would be fucking. I want that because that was fun, and I think that EA's got Criterion just sitting there twiddling their thumbs, and they made the Burnout series, and pod racers are supposed to be violent and shit. I could totally see a takedown system in something like that, and it would be fucking dope as shit. What do you think? Like,
Yeah.
it'd be really fun. It'd be nice and fast. I mean, there's definitely a void at the moment. With F-Zero, Wipeout, Extreme G, all those sorts of games not being cited for fuck knows how long. The whole like futuristic fast racer. Like, other than a couple of indie games, there really hasn't been a big
Fast race.
AAA, but that's not a big AAA game.
No, it's not.
And I think you put the Star Wars license in. Look, anyone that was around at the time, or that was a kid around at the time of the Phantom Menace, at the end of the day, you walk away from that movie and it's like, yo,
I want a pod.
pod racers are fucking sick, and also kind of that lightsaber scene was alright as well.
Wow.
But basically, like pod racing's cool, right?
Yeah, no.
Wow.
That,
Wow.
I think that they should go
And Wano's awesome. Annie.
they should go even further back into the back catalogue and make another game like TIE Fighter or Rogue Squadron. Like a proper...
Oh, Rogue Squadron.
Like a proper fucking flying game.
Dogfights.
And it doesn't
Yeah,
look...
Factor 5 did that in the past, and Factor 5 still exists.
And it doesn't... Look, it doesn't...
Contrary to popular opinion.
It doesn't matter if it's a level-by-level game, but they could very easily make a story where you could potentially even be like a rogue... Like, it doesn't have to be Rogue Squadron, it could be Rogue Pilot, where you're an ex-rebel or ex-TIE Fighter pilot, and you're flying through the system, and then you got a story, and that's how you do it. Where, like, one of your main mechanics is flying through fucking space in either an X-Wing or a TIE Fighter. And you've got fucking space dogfights. That would be fucking sweet.
Okay.
Like,
Aaron, anything you want, or did we kind of nail it when we were talking about third person, 13,
Then you got
so-
Empire at War as well. That's fun. Be a bit of RTS.
oh yeah.
It's good. I mean, you can chuck that Star Wars universe into anything and it works. Just don't lead people. That's what we're pretty much getting at.
Yeah.
Everything we talk about.
All right, the license. So currently held by EA. It was a 10-year license. They've
Thinking of what Dan was saying. So, no, I'm not actually doing this to troll you. Like, something like that with, like, the Clone Wars cartoon. Like an RTS in, like, a... Oh, was it Clone Wars? No, it was the...
Rebels now.
Was the Clone Wars cartoon, though. That was... Yeah. Something like that, I think, could probably really be a lot of fun in an RTS format. Like, you've got, like, your Jedi as, like, your hero units, and you've got, like, your clone squads.
Yeah.
Kind of like what the Halo... What was
Halo
the...
Wars?
Halo Wars.
Yeah.
I
The
think
Dawn of Wars and stuff like
yeah,
that.
I think that would actually be a really, really suitable... And look, they've already got a really unique, cool, interesting art style as well. And they've already got story that they can build on. Look, it doesn't necessarily have to feed into those particular, like, the show itself, but I think you could very easily make campaigns that could just slot in real nice, having Yoda, Obi-Wan, Anakin... fucking what's her name with the blue and white stripes?
Pardon me.
Ahsoka?
Oh, Ahsoka, yeah.
Man.
What's she gonna do?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah. So I just wanted to like just expanding on the whole RTS because I'm not normally an RTS fan, but I feel like the Clone Wars would probably be would actually be a really fun
setting for it.
Like they don't necessarily have to do the whole. Empire or the Phantom Menace with just the fucking droids. I think that's probably a really good one.
Grievous.
But that would be totally a decent
Maybe
enemy unit, like a legendary enemy unit, like General Grievous. That's fucking. This shit writes itself. Like.
So the license, EA was a 10-year. No, fuck off.
I'm kidding.
It was a 10-year license that is set to expire 2022 or 2023, I believe it is.
Oh, we'll have good internet by then. Cool.
Yeah, right.
Maybe. So who should
Cop
have
out
it?
of the premises.
What
Who should
should
have it?
Who should have it? What should Disney do with it? And yeah, sorry, go. You guys go for it first.
Oh, a studio that's always performed. ID
We're talking
software.
about we're talking
Id.
we're talking about publisher here. Remember, so that means
So
that means
Bethesda.
Bethesda.
Oh, you know what? I would.
Bethesda released a Star Wars game and it's absolutely broken.
It's
and
just-
everyone's
I
just
took
like,
it-
this is the best game ever.
I took a
Yeah.
I used to be a trooper like you till I took a laser to the knee.
If you pick up this hologram thing, you can hop through walls because, yeah. Next Skyrim patch.
No one cares. Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
just a Skyrim. It's built on a Skyrim engine. Who gives a shit? It's like you're a Jedi, baby Jedi, and you're
Though,
just making your choices through the
a
world.
fucking, like, a Sith game in the Doom engine would be pretty fucking sweet.
Bethesda.
Force lightning.
Got an answer?
Okay, I'll get Bethesda. I like Bethesda. They've done well for
I
me.
would like to say Gearbox just so we can shoehorn in Duke Nukem into a Star Wars game, but
So you're saying 2K then?
I don't actually think that would be a good plan.
Hey, you say take two. You take two. You say you take. If you say take two, that gives you what you just said. It also gives you Rockstar.
Oh my god.
I guess I don't think Rockstar could be fucked.
Well, no, Rockstar would be like, oh, we'll work on Star Wars. Nah, GTA will sell more.
Yeah, it's like no, actually, we're just printing money over here instead.
Alongside all those Nintendo Switches that are going off all the
Yeah.
time.
Who would I like to see?
Activision?
There's your Call of Duty with a Star Wars skin.
I probably.
Alright, Jesus Christ.
I've
I've
got an
got up
answer
some
for you.
developers.
I actually
Okay.
honestly think
You
that
shut them all
I
down.
personally think the right model to go with is what Marvel's doing at the moment, where they're shipping them off to whoever they see fit. So Disney keeps the license and they go, you're making this.
That
you're
is
making
exactly
this,
what I was
you're
going
making
to
this."
say.
So at the moment what we're seeing with Marvel is that they've gone, hey Insomniac, you're really good at this. We'd like you to make an Spider-Man game. What do you think? And obviously Insomniac must have said, yeah, sure, sounds good. Square Enix, so it's Crystal Dynamics, known for Tomb Raider. They're working on an Avengers game. Telltale did the Telltale Guardians of the Galaxy thing. Didn't really work out because Telltale's struggling a little bit at the moment. But they were looking to go for a story-heavy sort of thing. Telltale's a smart studio to go with.
I actually think part that, but also I would like them to revive the LucasArts interactive, like the video game side of LucasArts. Revive that, put some people in there, and have that studio work in collaboration with
That would make sense.
with
yeah.
developers. So
So
they will
then
publish
what-
it themselves.
Yeah.
So like it'll be a Disney interactive published game, but they'll basically work
Well, that's
with.
essentially
So
what,
I would like to see like that game you were saying before, like a third-person game. I'd love to see a platinum Star Wars game, like a top tier, like the near studio.
That gives them the scope to kind of pick and choose what suits.
Yeah, and I agree with you,
what's cool,
absolutely.
yeah, like another studio that's starting to do that, and they're a lot earlier down the line. But Warner Brothers are doing the same. They created a port key something. It's for the Harry Potter license, though.
Sure.
And they're looking to do the exact same thing. So they've got Niantic working on their Pokemon Go inspired Harry Potter thing. But then we're going to be developing console and PC games as well. And they're going to pick and choose their developers that suit. And maybe that stays internal within Warner Brothers, maybe it doesn't. Because Warner Brothers ultimately exist outside of the gaming space. So they can go, hey, we want to send this to whoever.
Sure. And then
I don't think anyone should own the rights just to
Disney
Star
should just
Wars
own the
games in general.
should.
I think Disney should own them. We give some
And if
to
it means that
Blue
they go to
Tongue Entertainment.
if it means they go to EA for certain things, fine.
Sure.
But
I still would very much like to have Criterion do
pod
a
racing,
fucking
whatever.
pod racing game. That would be dope as shit. I'm telling you.
Give some to Blizzard, Blue Tongue Entertainment. No, the creators of the Blob.
Do they still exist?
Nah,
Yes.
they're dead. According to this, anyway.
Oh, well, then I'll trust. What's that?
Shut up, Paul.
Wikipedia.
Reliable source.
His journal.
Wikipedia is usually
Damo's
fairly-
live.
Capcom. Give them to Capcom. Give me some 1v1 lightsaber fighting. Use the rock paper scissors format of.
I would go with Arc System Works over Capcom at the moment.
Who does Soul Calibur?
That is Namco. Namco could make a fun game, sure.
Capcom.
I mean,
we'll
look at-
get a Warriors game.
Or we could get a game that's
Oh yeah, give me Star Wars Warriors for sure.
Here he goes.
Or like,
Here's your Fire Emblem cast about to begin.
hang on. What about Tekken?
Tekken.
Yeah, what about a fucking Star Wars fighting game
Yeah, but
in the Tekken
Tekken's
engine?
combos are just.
No, but using
insane.
the engine, it doesn't have to use the mechanics. Don't forget that they make Soul Calibur in Tekken engines as well. Soul Calibur doesn't have any combos, like that's 13 buttons long. It's like fucking forward and A, like it's fucking horizontal slice and down. Like,
I don't know. Yeah, I agree though. Just don't give it to one company because then.
And I'm sure they've
Then
Disney
if
probably learned that from what's happened.
someone
with studio closures.
someone
and
messes
Battlefront.
up, that's okay. That company messes up, doesn't
They don't-
ruin
they-
majority of that franchise going for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything else still works in their own little spheres.
Yeah.
and they can move on. They can be like, well, that was shit. Not going to go with that company again. Let's pick
Would
someone
have
else.
just been better if Disney had just kept LucasArts, to be honest.
Yeah, but they kind of wanted to kill all their internal shit.
Yeah, but now it's not. Now, to your point, it's not a bad time to now start. a
No,
rebuild, 'cause
absolutely.
Now they can build it their way. They've shut down what was there before, and maybe they needed to kind of wipe the slate clean. But now there's maybe an opportunity to go. Hey, let's start building that, and it's more of a consultative thing, like you said.
Yeah, not to say they couldn't get their own.
Because again, my biggest complaint with Battlefront was the fact that Disney clearly got involved in that narrative, and they need to just trust these people. They send their consultants there, but don't say you have to crowbar this in. Here's your story. You're doing this cool thing.
But if they're going to do that, then
Like,
they may as well have the internal studio make a licensed game at this, like a movie tie-in game for mobile,
But
which is the only way that those things work
exist
anymore.
these days,
yeah.
If they're
So you
gonna
just,
do that-
just do that, and then
There's already law been written. I don't understand. Like it's like I haven't played the campaign, so I don't know. Like I mean, Luke, like the bridge between.
But that's not canon anymore.
No, this was canon.
Oh, okay.
This was the comic that led to Force Awakens.
Oh, okay.
That
Right.
absolutely had nothing to do with Force Awakens. I was like, okay, this is slightly disappointing, but I get it at the same time. Like Luke was like doing way crazy missions. Like it was like, wow, whatever. Like there's stuff already there that you let Marvel write these amazing stories with your permission and things like that. Yeah, I just don't understand why nothing has to feel forced. Just
pardon the pun.
damn it, you let me.
Did I ruin that? Were you going
I was gonna be like, yeah, just trust your instincts.
Oh, okay.
Isn't
Isn't that Star Fox?
Don't use the Force, Luke. Trust your instincts, and he moves the thing out. He blows up the Death Star.
Fox, help me.
Yeah.
It's,
To a barrel roll.
You're becoming more like your
I
father.
think we're starting to hit a wall.
I don't think we are.
We're just getting
we've
started.
absolutely-
I can
We've
say that.
absolutely murdered this
So
podcast.
that ends an episode of Patch, whatever this one was.
Seriously though, real talk. Criterion, pod racing.
Right, cool. Like,
type.
share, subscribe, catch up with weekly episodes of Patch, The Games Club, The Insider, Player 2 Plays. There's a whole bunch of other trailers and other features that just pop up on the YouTube channel. Check it all out. The website, player2.net.au, where you can catch up with all the awesome written content, including reviews off Battlefront 2, both my campaign review and Matt's one of the multiplayer.
Had it fair.
I smacked it around in the same sort of way that I kind of smacked it around here.
Okay.
But we
That's even better,
did break it
just
into two
white
bits, the campaign and the multiplayer, because I'm no great expert when it comes to
Campaigns.
multiplayer stuff. So I dealt with the campaign, Matt dealt with multiplayer, but then he shelved it for a while because of the current state of the multiplayer. Like
Fair enough.
not knowing what the final, well, as much as
I think
anything's
it should-
final,
it should
what
get
the
a
state of
score.
that will be.
It's just fuck up.
So, as well as a whole bunch of other reviews, because it is a very busy time of the year, there's lots to catch up on.
Like Doom on the Switch.
Like Doom on the Switch. Tarkos Talks doesn't do Twitter. Paul James P2 and the website at player2au. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next week.